Hello, I'm the Reddit man, your dealer to the world of Reddit stories. Shall we begin? What are some dumb purchases you made? I traded a rather rare volume into a local used bookstore because I had two of them. Then went back to the bookstore a month later and excitedly bought my own book back because it was rare and I didn't think I owned it. I was wrong. I like to think the same employee that received it from you also sold it to you and was profoundly confused. Getting home drunk and spending $15 on the Animal Crossing app. This has happened 3 times. I commissioned an artist to paint a portrait of my then girlfriend's dying pet rat. She had told me her rat was about to die a month before I got it. By the time it was ready, the relationship had ended and I didn't know what to do with it. I paid $90 for it and it was absolutely worth the price. Artist did an amazing job. I just didn't have anyone to give it to now. I ended up giving it to her anyway. I regret doing that since I probably just made her feel guilty. Thing is, I was fully aware we were about to break up. I just liked her so much and I was totally alone in a new state. I didn't think I was good enough to earn her love, so I tried to buy it. Real dumb. This kills me every time I remember it, and it's honestly made me into the extreme money saver I'm today. When I was younger, my family visited Niagara Falls. I had $50, which is a lot for a kid with no job, and was excited to buy some souvenirs. I spent it all on keychains. I only got like 6 of them, which made it to $50. They were all of the same place too. It's not like they were from different cities. I wasted all the money I owned on freaking keychains. Who even uses those? It haunts me to this day. I'm usually pretty conservative with my spending, but I have bipolar disorder, and sometimes when I'm manic I go a little nuts with dumb purchases. My 2 worst are probably a top of the line spin bike, which I had never tried before, for about $1,000, and I resold for $300 once I was out of the episode, and I also convinced myself to join a hockey league. I spent $1,200 on skates, pads, gloves, stick, and helmet. I have never skated, and I still haven't. All the gear is in the back of my closet and I cringe whenever I stumble across it. A shitty mall katana while I was on a date, no less. It was a first date. There was not a second. Edit. Since many of you are requesting details, here goes. This was close to 20 years ago. I was 19. I had just moved into a new apartment and thought mounting a katana on the wall would look mature and cool. It never made it up on the wall in any place I ever lived. I eventually sold it at a garage sale. Got $20 for it. The date wasn't going terribly up to that point, but it was also clear we weren't destined for a second date. I've never owned a fedora and thought I grew out of my nice guy / neckbeard tendencies by 10th grade. Maybe it was a last gasp attempt for those traits to manifest themselves. I hope she remembers it, preferably with a laugh. I certainly remember it. I have 3 boys, and they will definitely hear about it as a cautionary tale. Those claw covers for cats, to stop them from scratching up your furniture. They were ripped off the next day. He was gnawing at his little feet until everyone was gone. Spent over $100 or more buying clothes for my avatar on a virtual reality game when I cold spent it on, you know, actual clothes. PLS, don't judge me. I've done so on multiple games. Like, way too much in the past. Imvu, touch, please don't judge as the spending has accumulated over 6 years. $1,500 on my old account plus $300 USD on one on a new server. I like my new account as an adult though, since I'm not a dumb teenager spending my allowance on it. Second Life, still now every once in a while I'll load a little bit of coins on Zipito. I never have used microtransactions for anything not cosmetic. It was a escape for me, and still now way to express myself in my cloudy mentally ill world. I've learned now, moderation is key. I had accidentally doubled my dose of pain meds right before I went to go see a showing of the film Drive. On my walk home I ordered a pair of what I thought was the gloves Ryan Gosling's character wears in the film. A week later I got them in the mail and realized they were 3 sizes too big and an entirely different color. $160 down the toilet. That night I took my Ambien and apparently decided to try again. After staying on the computer after my sleep meds had kicked in, I bought the same pair of gloves. Had a crush on a guy I barely knew who told someone else who told me that this guy was into dominant women. A few days later I dropped nearly $600 on bondage gear, an entire strap-on setup and what I imagined to be the dominatrix outfits. Everything arrived in the mail by a couple weeks later. I tried on everything, looked all manner of ridiculous and suddenly realized I had never planned beyond that point. I couldn't come up with any non-mortifying way to try to let this guy know that I was prepared to dominate him. Like, I couldn't even decide if it would be less ridiculous to pretend I had always had all this stuff and been into such things, or to admit I bought everything on the off chance that a near stranger I was infatuated with might be down for it. In the end I gave it all away to an elderly gay couple on Craigslist. That was my $600 value charity donation for the year. Wasn't even tax deductible. Every time I think I'm dumb because I can't stop thinking of some girl for a few days, I'm going to remember this comment and feel not so dumb. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also ring the bell to get notified of new uploads.